Buswell from DrVoIP.com. We're going to take a look at the Scopserv, a phenomenally well-featured, well-documented, well-supported, cost-effective asterisk solution. I'm extremely impressed with this product and thought I'd share this with you. You log into the administrative portal of the Scope server just by pointing your browser at the IP address. Port 5555 is the standard to get you into the administrative console, and then you'll come into a administrative portal that has a metaphor that you should be familiar with. You'll have your links, your administrative links on the left side, and they also are available across the top of the page. What you'll notice is that good folks at Scopserv have enabled you to configure your server options, everything from setting up SNMP, managing your licenses, setting up your SQL server. I have a habit when I install an asterisk device of also installing WebAdmin, which is a freeware solution you can find out on the net. But a lot of times you want to get on your asterisk box and manipulate your Apache server, set up DHCP, maybe configure IP tables and use the box as a firewall as well. The good folks at Scopserv, I don't have to do that. It's actually built into the product, their own version of managing your asterisk box as a server. There's a network section, so we can go in here and make a decision about how we want to set up our network services. I would recommend putting 2 NIC cards in the box so that you could use it as the firewall, as well as your DHCP server, DNS server, your VPN client server. It's got radius capability. It's just a wonderfully well thought out asterisk solution, but it's got the wisdom that Scopserv has brought to the table and have wrapped that asterisk kernel into a product that is just wonderfully featured, well documented. The documentation that came with the product was the best I have seen from any of the distros in the marketplace today. I also found tech support with these guys to be just super. So go ahead and configure your network options. You'll have to put the basic licensing in, and then you'll head off here to the telephony section of the box. And the ability to set up your voice over IP providers, set up your voice over IP accounts, create classes of service, create phones. Literally, I think it took me 20 minutes to bring this thing up after I downloaded the ISO, burned my CD. I had this box up and working. Connecting to my ITSP for VoIP services was just straightforward and worked out of the box. Class of service is an important part of how features and functions are allocated in the Scopserv box. The box also has multiple tenant capabilities, so you can actually have multiple companies on a box and then set up your telephones and your VoIP accounts and assign them to tenants so that Dial 9 gets tenant A to its services, and Dial 9 for tenant B gets to a different set of service providers. You have a complete embedded ACD system, which I'll show you some of the capabilities that we have with the ACD. Auto attendant, conferencing, it's all here, and it's very well done. You would probably start by bringing up some extensions. When you add an extension, you can either add a single extension or add multiple extensions. It'll ask you for a range, and then you'll go ahead and populate the information with respect to authentication. Is this user going to have voicemail? What phone options? Provisioning phones here is among the best I have seen. They have built-in templates that enable you to auto-provision a wide range of phones. You can set up your caller ID, most of your user options, including find me, follow me, personal IVR capabilities, ACD. There's just nothing missing in this product in terms of what its feature capabilities are. I was able to bring up my extensions. I think I have one here. I've got this guy up and running here, and I'll be using him to demo some of the connectivity with the ScopTEL box. In the area of provisioning voice over IP accounts, I was able to create a tie line to the ScopTEL. Very straightforward. I have a DID account. I had previously created my SIP account to my ITSP. I set up a destination for calls arriving on this circuit. Set up my security, and we had this circuit up and running in absolutely no time. With respect to the tie line to ScopTEL, again, very straightforward. Gave it a name, assigned it to a tenant. Had the choice of setting up SIP or IAX or H323. Obviously, with the ScopTEL, you're going to select SIP and set up a friend. Pointing to the server, username and password were basically what you filled in the ScopTEL in the trunk group. So when you set up authentication, you put in a username and password such that the Scopserv in this instance would register with the ScopTEL. And you go ahead and put in your SureGear switch or virtual IP address, and we're up and running. This connectivity was easy to establish, and I've created a class of service for the tie line that described how to handle incoming calls, how to handle my outbound calls, and we had this guy up and running in no time. Scopserv has an embedded queuing strategy where you could set up your customer service crew, select your announcements, your queue messages, set up your members, establish failback, queuing options, agent options, real-time reporting options. It's it's exceptionally well done. There is a browser-based interface to the reporting system, ScopStats, key part of the system. You can go in here and set up panels, define the panels. For example, I've set up a panel here for extensions. I can see the status of my extensions. They even have a capability here in which you can bring up a virtual phone, and this virtual phone will then take on the characteristics of whatever phone you want to assign it to. So in this case, I've just made it extension 404. Very useful for troubleshooting. You can create your panels to reflect extensions, the status of your voice over IP peers, look at queuing, see who's in a queue, just define a series of custom call boards, if you will, wall boards. Down in the reporting section itself, you'll find that there's call detail records. for just about every characteristic of the system that you would like to derive some information on. Internal calls, outgoing calls, incoming calls. It's got it all. I even discovered one of my favorite solutions here on the auto attendant. How many times you've ever wanted to find out how many people pressed 1 for accounting or 2 for support. You can actually get a report here based on the keys that are depressed, calls by date, calls by hour, etc. The automatic call distribution reporting package is exceptional. There's a whole variety of call summaries based on things like calls answered, abandoned calls, distribution level, service level, agents. There's even wrap-up codes. So in terms of a fully featured solution from the Asterisk community, obviously this is, we've moved from freeware into a paid product, but I can assure you that the functionality these guys have added to the system and the features that they have and continue to define, as well as the reporting package, the user interface, even the individual extensions have a browser-based interface. The technical support and the documentation are just superior to anything I've seen in the Asterisk marketplace. So I hope you have found this informative.